Hi everyone. It's time for today's video based on New York Times connection game. It's basically a game where you create four groups of four words from 16 given words. You have seen the thumbnail, so you know what the first group we are discussing is. Watch to the end of this video, and I will also tell you the other three groups of four words, what each word means, and what they have in common. The following words all mean brief moment, flash. Now, flash, back in a flash, which means brief moment, instant, right? Now, let's say flash is a verb and a noun, right? So, like your phone has a flash that or camera used to needed to flashes when it's dark to use a flash. So when there's a lightning, there's a flash, right? That's kind of a spark. Or when sky gets lit up, that's flash. In that sense, we have a thing that flash points. With the flash point is that when the sky lights up, or flash point is when there's a emergency events happening. That's called a flash point. And then but flash as a noun, back in a flash, back in an instant. Flash, use the flash with your camera. And then we have the verb flash and flashing, just flashing in front of my eyes. Like I have these memories. So that's why we have flashback. You have flashbacks, as in, do you remember things? You have flashbacks in your mind's eye. That's called a flashback because things are just flashing in front of your eye, right? Then flash is something that girls do in Mardi Gras. Not going to say what that is. You kind of can figure that out. Flash means, so that's kind of like appearing and disappearing, that kind of act. That verb is like, he just flashed in front of me and then disappeared. Kind of like, come out and over and go back. So the next one for a brief moment is heartbeat. And heartbeat, boom, wherever my heart is. I think it's here. Heartbeat, right? Like bump, bump, in a heartbeat. Will you marry her? In a heartbeat, as in an instant, without hesitation, right? Like immediately I would marry her in a heartbeat. So heartbeat, and beat of your heart. So how long did it get you to get to the airport? In a heartbeat, as in really quickly, instantly, as a flash. Snap, you see, I'm using snap because it's the same thing. Heartbeat. Will you accept that job? In a heartbeat. So that means, literally really quickly. Then we have the word GIF, Jiff, for brief moment and instant. GIF. Back in a GIF. That's used, and that's why, in America, we have a mechanic shop called Jiffy Lube. That means that it takes you a jiffy. It takes you a single second. It takes an instant to get this done. So usually it's the GIF that we use is back in a GIF, or, that's the main thing. We don't say back in a heartbeat, we say back in a GIF. And then the next one, that brief moment, is a wink. So wink is, it's like wink, just wink technique, right? That's wink. So winking is, you can say wink, that close and open eye is a wink. But then in a wink, he was gone, kind of like in an instant, right? Or is winked in and out. To wink in and out means to kind of come to be and not to be. Right? So wink. Now, the past tense of wink is winked, not the other thing I'm not going to say. So, and so wink also is it's a kind of a friendly gesture, or is a flirtatious thing. That's not English. That's a common language, international language. But that sandwich is just winking at me. It's kind of like, it's tempting me. So in that sense, wink means tempting. That apartment is just winking at me, kind of like, suggesting, hey, why don't you take me? So that's why, because the sexual connotation and the sensual connotation, the same thing. You can say that car is just winking at me, kind of like tempting me, luring me. Hey there, friend. Nice to meet you. I am Hamid. Sorry for the interruption. If you are enjoying this video and are looking to take your English fluency and vocabulary to the next level, I've got something special for you. I offer personalized one-on-one coaching sessions tailored to your unique goals and interests. Whether you're focusing on grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, or all around communication skills, I'm here to help you master English in a way that's fun and effective. Ready to elevate your English? Click on the link in the description below to book your session with me today. Let's embark on this journey to English mastery together. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more tips and tricks. So the next group is for dispute. So dispute is clash. So clash means having a fight, having an argument, having a clash. Clash of titans, when two groups are fighting each other. Did you have a clash with your parents? Kind of like an argument, a dispute. So clash. I think those colors are clashing. So that's another thing you can say. Like if you wear red and like green, those colors are clashing. Those ideas are clashing. So clash is usually fight, argument, dispute. So I wanted to say to you that I wanted to thank you to continue working with me and watching my videos. And I wanted to say that English can be taught. Please just keep going. Do what I have done with more than 40 years. And the thing is that if you do keep it up, your English is going to be better than the native speakers, than the Americans and the Canadians and the Brits and the Australians. And because those guys were born into that culture, you're learning it. So if English gets quite confusing for you, it's okay. Okay? It's really okay. Let it be and just keep learning. And if you fall down, just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, pat yourself on the back, and just keep going. So the next word for dispute is scrap. They were scrapping, they were fighting, they were clashing. Now scrap, other than here, scrap means basically garbage, useless. That's just scrap paper, as in, useless paper. Like scrap, can you scrap that? As in, can you get rid of it? So scrap can be a verb and can be a noun. That's a scrap yard. That means that all the scrap parts or the junk goes there. So scrap, another word for it is junk. But then scrapping here means fighting. And then he's scrappy. And scrappy means kind of very argumentative and kind of fighting and stuff like that. But scrap metal, scrap paper, those are the garbagey things. But then to scrap me that idea, just I don't want to hear it. Okay. Scrap it. Can you scrap the last sentence I just said? Get rid of it. The next word for dispute is tangle. Now to tangle is that literally when two people are at each other's throat, they're holding each other's collar. That's tangle. Or two things get tangled, like, maybe wires get tangled and you can't really separate them. Tangle. And then the word for it is, the noun for that verb tangle is entangle, right? So the two things are entangled. They're like just, and then that's, we have a quantum physics terms, quantum entanglement, that two things are entangled. They're intermeshed, they're connected. You can't separate them, right? It's impossible to separate them. But to tangle means that, just kind of be at somebody's throat and fighting with them and tangle with them and, go back and forth with them. Another word for dispute is tiff, T-I-F-F. We were just having a tiff. Okay. So slang for zero, jack. You don't know jack. So you don't know zero. So jack is the thing you used to, we can use to elevate the car when you have a flat. You're using a jack, right? Then we have the expression jack of all trades. you are the jack of all trades and master of none. Jack means like, you are competent in many things, but master of none. So you kind of have dabbled in them without actually becoming really good at them. So jack of all trades, that's somebody who's, but then we have the word hijack, and hijack means, stealing a plane, right? Literally stealing it. And then the word we have carjack, and carjack means when you do the same thing with a car, right? They just carjacked me, as in they took my car. The same way you can take a plane, that would be hijack. And then jack also is the, jack of spades, which is that card, the soldier type card in or could be a prince in playing cards. You have king, you have queen, and you have jack. So that's jack. And then they have the game blackjack, which probably has something to do with that jack. And then jackknife is kind of like, jackknife is kind of attacking the knife, but then jackknife, that truck jackknife that car, kind of like going right in the middle of it, jackknife. Yeah. So the next one is slang for zero is love. Now that love, zero, is used in tennis, right? So in tennis, say love 30, love 15. So what the love, is quite simple. It means what love means, and I love it, and like it and love it. And but then here, as I said, it means zero. And love is also a term of kind of endearment and addressing, especially they use love a lot as a way of speaking to each other. Like you get on a cab or an Uber now, and they say, "Hello, love, where do you want to go?" Which is, in America, we would never say that. Nobody, unless somebody is your love, my love or something, they wouldn't say love to you in a department store. It's like, what? How can I help you, love? That's nobody would say. It's weird. Another slang for zero is squat. You've been doing diddly squat, and you usually, we use the word diddly squat. Like I don't know diddly squat about this. Like I don't know anything. I am completely clueless. I'm unaware of everything. Diddly squat. Now squat, of course, means to, you're standing up, and then when you squat, you kind of like, you get on your knees, while on your feet, and kind of bend your knees and walk. That's squatting. Like a frog kind of squats. Now squat, because of that, probably squat means somebody who goes and lives somewhere illegally. So there's a squatter, right? That means that, maybe there's an empty house or a foreclosed house, and there's squatters, as in people who live there without paying rent. That's to squat to. Zip, I know zip. Zip means slang for zero. Zip about just nothing, okay? But then zip means zipping away, like going really fast. I was going, zipping in the traffic, going really fast. And then zip, of course, is this thing that, it's in its simplest form, is the thing that your jacket has as a zip, or zipper. There is a zipper. But then because of this thing, because of the object zipper, the verb to zip means zip it, as in close it. That's the expression. When you are in front of the reporter, zip it, as in close your mouth, zip it. And zip, of course, is the, the area code in America. That's what we use, zip. And then the next group is accessories for Mr. P. Again, this is this dumb game connections. Cane. Now, cane is a stick, right? Cane is a stick that maybe a blind person has. They walk with their walking stick, or their cane. So cane is usually a stick that an elderly person or a sick person would carry around with them. So that's a cane, walking cane. But then cane can also be about sugar cane, right? So this is a sugar cane, which is, where you get the sugar. Then the accessories for Mr. Peanut, monocle. Now, monocle is that thing, that one eye thing that maybe jewelers wear. Now, be careful. This is a monocle, right? which has usually sometimes like a chain going to the thing, right? It's a chain going from the monocle. Monocle, or maybe there's no chain, it's just this thing that the jeweler puts and they look. Actually, that's a monocle, but then also monocle, as in Mr. Peanut, monocle can be also, so monocle can be the thing that the jeweler puts to kind of look at your diamond. But then monocle can be just the one eye glasses, and that has a chain. That's a monocle. That's accessory for Mr. Peanut. Maybe that's a monocle that he has. Now, don't mistake that, because a pirate wears an eye patch. An eye patch is a black thing. It's a patch for your eye, and it's usually black, and it's opaque. It's not made of glass. Whereas a monocle, it's made of glass. It's either used as a way to size things up and kind of look at them and magnifying glasses, or just a monocle, like glasses with one glass. Accessory for Mr. Peanut, spat. Spat here is an accessory for Mr. Peanut. A spat in simplest form is the past tense of spit. Spat. You spat in my face. Say it, don't spray it, right? Spat. But then they were having a spat. They were having a time, and they were passing time together. And then finally, accessory for Mr. Peanut is a top hat. A hat. Top hat is kind of like a longer, taller hats. That's a top hat. And top, what top means, and top, means on top of your game, on top of your, top of the mountain. And we can say top of the morning. And top of the morning means that, as in it's like it's 8 a.m. or something. But then top of the hour, sometimes they use top of the hour, and that means to right at the hour, not, like at 11 o'clock, that's the top of the hour. But like when you go to 11:30, that's not top of the hour, because, you look at this like a clock. And then to top, he just topped me, as in he bettered me, he was better than me. And to top it all off, as in to end the story and say what really happened. And then topping, you can top your money. Like when you put money in your account, you're topping it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today. Come back tomorrow to learn.